Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of the Rx0Matcast. Today is July 18th, and I'm Matmasta from Dueling Network Forums.
Yes, he is Matmasta.
And you are,
I don't know.
well, hopefully by the end of this podcast, we will figure out your true identity.
Um, Forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay,
It was somewhere along those lines. Yes.
okay, good. Excellent. And while my forgetful partner doesn't remember his name, we can begin talking about stuff regardless. So,
What were we supposed to talk about?
I believe we're a Yu-Gi-Oh channel.
Oh, I thought I was watching the Day Live channel.
Oh,
Hold on, let me close this incognito tab.
that incognito tab that doesn't have
Okay,
sounds emanating from it. But okay, yeah.
proceed.
Okay, so yeah, this is a podcast dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh and anime as well. So it's basically an otaku podcast, but we'll mostly be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. So anyway, uh, any
Unless you people want anime,
yeah, just
then
leave
sure.
whatever direction you want us to go in next episode in the comments below, and
And I
we will take that
guarantee you
direction.
we won't listen to you.
Yeah, actually, okay.
Just say whatever you like, but we won't listen.
Say whatever you like. Just say whatever you like if you feel like saying it. If he makes you happy to just type it up and post it in the comments, do so.
Like if you're gonna fake being a parent, that's like a father of like this like 8-year-old kid and saying like the 8-year-old kid watches our video and starts swearing and like wants to sue us. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, totally. Sue us. Sue us on the internet, because that always turns out well.
Because people will totally take you seriously.
Exactly. Anyway, I
While
heard
we're talking
I
about
heard this
that,
was a podcast.
what?
Is this a
What's a podcast?
okay? Um, all right. So apparently this is now a podcast, and so let us begin
And
with
apparently I'm Rx0Unicorn.
yes, this is our so unicorn, and
Wait, what? I am?
yes,
Sweet.
okay, yeah, cool guy. But okay, let us begin with the actual discussion now that we've gotten rid of the formalities. So Yu-Gi-Oh, what is going on with Yu-Gi-Oh right now? Well,
It's called E-Dragons raping everything.
yeah,
There,
exactly.
I said it.
It's
Done.
E-Dragons and Prophecy, and to a lesser extent, in my opinion, just because of Eradicator. But it's E-Dragons and Prophecy just tearing up the world. Evil Swarms nowhere to be seen to quell the dragons. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. People think Evil Swarms do something against E-Dragons. They do to an extent, but it's not the best counter for them. Because
It
nothing
doesn't
is.
stop
It
E-Dragons.
won't,
Let's
yeah.
just say that.
Yeah, like Ophion, okay, I can't summon them. I still have Blaster. I still have all my other outs to it that I can get, like either if you want Injection Fairy Lily, Metaion. I prefer using Tsukuyomi and stuff like Breakthrough Skill. It just gets
Well,
rid
but
of it.
I mean, that's not fair because you like Tsukiyomi because you like Naruto.
Uh, well, yeah, that and it's reusable. Like it's like they can't kill it essentially.
But then, like, the name itself is biased.
I guess. I guess that name is biased in a certain way.
Like, if you were to make a card called Kurumi Tokisaki, I think I would use it in my deck.
I don't know. I just like Tsukiyomi. Like it doesn't have to do with Sharingan or anything like that. Like it's a good card.
What's a Sharingan?
Uh, it's that thing that.
Please no spoilers.
What's a Sharingan? Slowpoke is like. There's a thing called Mangekyo Sharingan. What is this? Slowpoke. Kakashi has Sharingan. It's like hyper Slowpoke. It's like what was it revealed in? Like episode like what 5? More than that,
Not that early,
but it
but
was like
like
Zabuza
it's
arc.
pretty
It
early.
was freaking Zabuzar because it was the first enemy, true
Well,
enemy.
as soon as Sasuke fought, I think.
Yeah, and no, it shows Kakashi having it too, and
I don't know. I didn't follow.
quickly, but yeah, and
Like honestly, I
we
don't
know
want to follow
Sasuke.
such long animes.
Yeah, yeah, with
The
Naruto,
only
it's
ones I
just
actually follow is Hitman Reborn, like with passion.
oh nice, Hitman Reborn. It's a good anime.
And yeah, it's finished.
Yeah.
I'm depressed.
Okay, that was a tangent, but
What's a
E-Dragons.
tangent?
Okay,
I'm
E-Dragons.
sorry, I gotta retake AP tests.
Sokotoa, man. But totally. So we went off at a tangent. E-Dragons are basically tearing up the world. There's like nothing that can truly stop them now, and they're looking at getting hit pretty hard in September, unless Konami wants to lose a ton of people, including myself. Actually, that wouldn't make me quit. I haven't quit for worse things.
Teledad.
Yeah, I didn't quit. I just tried to just push through it.
You mean you just joined the Teledad?
No, no, I had a variant. It wasn't like it was Teledad, like straight up Teledad. It was like some
So would it be like Amelia Aerial Beatdown?
yeah, it's like that in regards to prophecy. That's what I
And
was running.
in case if people don't know, it's like you explain it.
It's like the spellbook engine, and basically you just splash in three Gishki Amelias, three Gishki Aerials, and like three Area the Water Charmers, and you just use all the spellcaster support, fade all that, and just protect them and just beat down people with them.
And the logic being, or at least my playstyle, because I hate Aerial. Um,
About that, but yeah, keep going.
what I do is I just summon I use Judgment Day, of course, and then at the end phase I summon the Aerial,
Hmm.
and then on their turn, if I don't need it, I'll use Spellbook of
Yeah,
Fate
fade set that. Yeah,
and then set the Aerial, and then I get my Amelia,
exactly.
and then
Yeah, so that's
just
that thing.
stuff.
And spellbooks aren't doing so hot right now, actually, even though they did have a showing recently at Nats, but they're not doing too hot right now. It's just
But
because
I
they
mean,
have so much counters, it's not even funny, and it's so easy to just destroy them. But
you have like Jewel and Lockbird and other
Eradicator
crap,
Epidemic, which basically takes them out completely.
and then
Totals.
and besides, let's go. I
That
mean,
does
like
it's still
now every deck is trying to like in some way use Eradicator.
like the
Like they
thing
want to
about
find a way
this format.
to.
It's you don't have to worry about any deck besides Prophecy and E-Drags. So your entire sideboard and even your main deck can be dedicated to stopping either of those two decks, and you would do decently well. I'd stop E-Drags much more over I'd stop Prophecy.
Well,
Just
but the
find a
thing
way to
is,
do
like,
that.
I honestly gave up on trying to stop E-Drag, so I don't even care.
Yeah,
So I just like deal with
there's a lot.
I just deal with
Okay,
prophecies.
my recent hero deck, Chaos Heroes, if you just look at it, you just realize this is an E-Drag, like, hate machine. It's like, I main two Cyber Dragons. You know why.
Yeah.
I main Max C's. I main Breakthrough Skill. I main Vanity's Emptiness. Gemini Spark.
Basically,
All
main
that.
basically his deck is anti-meta
Yeah,
with a
it's
hero
become
engine.
anti-meta. And in this, if I do the side switch, and it essentially becomes a Last Warrior lockdown, just like as fast as possible. And it's not one of those Last Warrior decks where it's just like, oh yeah, because Mariokutai is actually good. One of the materials for Last Warrior is actually good against Prophecy because you tribute it to negate a spell and destroy that spell. That's actually decent. And Zombire is a 2100 Dark Beater that I can normal summon immediately, and it's a deck debby target, and that's when the Chaos comes in. And since they're both, I can send them both with Prisma. I just use Prisma and either one of them, or King of the Swamp, or yeah, Prisma in either one of them, or King of the Swamp in either one of them, and just poly them to make the guy. And it's pretty easy. I don't have any problems, and it's
Since we're talking about the okay, go
and
on.
Mario Katai's water, so I make absolute zero occasionally, and so is King of the Swamp. But go ahead.
Since we're talking about the meta, let's talk about the nationals results.
You mean the E-Drag tournament? This is
Yes.
the tournament where everyone just E-Dragged? Like,
Okay, so basically, I'm not even gonna bother wasting time on this. Number 1 to 28 were all
and
E-Dragons except for 19, who is
that was a
Spellbooks.
proxy. Hey, Madolche's top 32 showing. Kudos to that guy. That guy's awesome.
I think that guy was like probably the only skillful person
He
there.
was, yeah, you know what? Like,
If you were to get that high with Madolches, like
people are like, hey, you
you
topped. You must
you
have
need
skill.
credit.
That doesn't really mean you have skill. Like, honestly, I'm not one of those people
Like
who feel so
E-Drags,
like I don't I'm not going to be politically correct and say that all decks have to take skill to some degree. I run E-Drags. I top things with E-Drags. They take little to no skill, honestly. Like I don't think when I play them. Like honestly, I barely even think.
actually need is a checklist for what you have and have not used.
Yeah, exactly. Like, did I use Tempest this turn? Okay, there's some things you need to know about E-Drags, but even then, you can still do good while misplaying your way through the whole thing.
Well, and also, remember that I remember long ago when I was away, you posted that photo about how to play E-Dragons.
Yeah, yeah,
It's basically is there an empty field? I mean, is there an empty field?
yep,
If not, summon Lad,
yeah.
which really isn't that
It's
good,
not
but
good. Yeah, I don't agree with
but
that.
people have their own preferences. It's
Yeah,
okay, but I still don't think it's
yeah.
good
It's
enough.
not same with
And
Sacred Sword. I don't like it, but go ahead.
yeah, uh, I think a lot of people are starting to drift away from Sacred Sword just because
They realize it's
it.
slow and does nothing.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't need the draw. You have super rejuvenation.
I much rather discard and go
You
super
you
rejuve.
have plenty of draws. You're gonna discard at the end, so you don't need the draws.
Exactly.
And then like
And you
that
waste
stops
an
you from
effect.
making more plays because yeah, you used up one effect to
Yeah,
do it.
and the thing about the searchable dragon tuners, I would always go Dragoonity Corsica over Flambeau Guard because I usually have to use up either a Blaster or a Tempest, whichever one corresponds to the tuner, and I don't want to have to waste Blaster to get a tuner, considering it's the one with the highest attack and best effect in hand, in my opinion.
Well, because I mean, you're obviously gonna use. How often have you actually used Tempest? It's
Yeah,
another like Wind Dragon Recruiter.
one
I mean,
time
if
I
you're
used
using
Tempest actual's effect, like one time I've actually used this effect.
like if you were running Dragoonities, then sure, of course you're gonna do that. But I mean, otherwise, Blaster to
I
pop a
banish
card
him
is
and his small card
obviously.
continuously. Just
I
it's
mean, Blaster
automatic.
is obviously much better
Exactly.
because. So you would rather keep that than like Tempest because
Yeah.
Tempest doesn't do nearly as much.
And I get that you get more fire monsters to use Blaster's effect with, but if you don't draw him, you're gonna want to search him. Like there's many occasions when you want to search that tuner, and I would rather much have like search the tuner and still be able to use Blaster.
Okay, I found the picture now. You can probably post this like in the video,
Yeah,
but
it'll come
if
up.
you feel like it. But it's like, is there a monster on the field? No. Then summon Draco Sack, then Lad. And if there is, can you kill it? Yes. Then summon Draco Sack. No. Summon Big Eye. Did it work? Uh, no. Try again. Did it work? No. Lol. Yes, it did. And then yes. And then you're good at Yu-Gi-Oh. Congratulations.
Yeah, you won this game. Like I posted this thing on Vine. Excuse me for using Vine, but it's basically I was running E
I, I
Dragons. I had E
I'm
Drag
sorry, I
hand.
missed out on the whole Vine
Yeah,
mania.
I
Wow.
didn't really understand it, but I just got into it kind of. But so basically I was just playing E Drags. I had an E Drag hand. I fell
You
asleep.
can probably post a link to
Yeah, I
this.
fell asleep. I woke up and I looked. My field was like a Drago Sack and a Big Eye, and I'm just like, I'm so good at this game. You could sleep. You could like put an E-Drag deck down on the mat and
And it'll play
leave,
its.
and when you
It
come back,
literally
it will
plays
have won
itself.
nationals. Like,
It literally plays
yeah,
itself.
it does. It plays itself. It's an auto-played deck if there ever was one. It's sad. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, we talked about the tuners and all that, and
We're just talking about how the E Dragons thing had the
yeah.
thing that E Dragons.
Yeah, we're done with that. It's going on right now, the podcast, by the way. It's recording. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's E-Dragons is just I don't even want to talk about them. They're just self-explanatory, autoplay. It's just it's just too good of a deck. It's not the best
I mean,
deck in
I think
Yu-Gi-Oh history, but it's very good.
we've explained enough, so I don't think that it's even necessary
I don't think it's
anymore.
anywhere near the best deck, but yeah.
But I mean, like people get the idea. We don't even have to explain.
Yeah, so there. And banlist predictions about how E-Dragons, Prophecy, and other tier decks are going to get hit.
Now, before anyone says anything, I want to say that I know a person who says that E Dragons won't be hit yet because they're trying to sell the tins. But that is complete bull because if you have checked the news on what's in that tin, you realize that E Dragons aren't the reason people buy it.
Yeah, and the fact
It's rare. They're rare.
and the big
So people
dragons.
won't be buying it for the dragons anyways.
Yeah, and
And the big dragons won't be hit. So.
yeah, and the nature of the big dragons, they're splashable in a lot of things. Any attribute centric deck.
So even if they hit E Dragons, tons of other decks will still be running the big dragon. So it doesn't stop their sales of that.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, so I'm gonna read a ban list prediction I had. I say to ban. They're gonna ban BLS Envoy because if Konami has taught us anything,
Because if it's getting reprinted,
yeah, they
they they're getting
and
reprinted,
they
so
wait
that
until a crazy good card
that
isn't
should
as
explain.
prevalent to hit it. They also hit cards when they get reprinted. BLS will be reprinted, not and only and not only does it not matter, but a new BLS, the Twilight, is coming out, and they're not gonna have two BLSs
And
running
all that
around.
chaos support, they obviously, yeah,
Yeah,
it should be self-explanatory.
yeah. I think this bad boy is gonna join CED pretty soon. But anyway, another ban card, number 11, Big Eye, should have never been made. Was always People always knew he was gonna be bad someday. It's gonna be like really such a pain
Now,
someday.
the problem why we say he's banned instead of like limited or whatever, because if you look back, you got cards like Mind Control, Brain Control, and whatever crap like that,
Yeah,
and Go-Yo
yeah.
Guardian, and those are extremely
I
limited.
think the
And
best example for this one would be Goyo Guardian actually, because it's
extra deck
yeah,
monster.
it's just as easy to summon, and Goyo is much harder to get off than this.
Yeah, and I mean,
And this thing has
Go-Yo has to
26.
beat Go-Yo has to beat over things
Yeah, yeah.
to summon them. And I mean, if they're Xyz monsters, you won't even get their effects because
I,
then they become
I'm
useless.
personally for the bringing back of Goyo Guardian, but Big Eye
Because
should
I mean,
not be here.
it's not gonna make that big of a difference. But the fact that it's
Yeah.
such a big
Well,
attacker, I don't think
yeah,
they'll let it happen.
I want this guy to be
It's just
banned.
it's attack is too.
I want this guy to be banned, but realistically, it's probably going to be limited just with all the cards that take other cards were before.
Yeah,
It's probably going to be limited and
it's not gonna.
possibly banned later or not, depending on how hard they
They'll
hit it.
eventually be banned.
Yeah,
They'll probably limit it first and see what happens, but it obviously won't like
it's
matter.
limiting it doesn't
Like
matter.
they'll just be more careful with their big
Yeah,
eyes.
they'll have to think
But
when they use their big eye. And when people
but
think,
it's not like they still have to think. And
whatever.
let's go over another thing is it's unconfirmed, but people are saying Catastor and BLS are gonna be in the 2013 tins,
Yeah, I heard that as
so or at
well.
least wave one. So
I have a lot of Catastrophes for no reason, and I hope. You know what? I want them to be in the 10. I want everyone to be able to access it. Like, it's not that
because
much
I've been
anymore.
waiting for that for a while.
Yeah, everyone has.
Like I haven't bothered to get the tin yet because my decks don't really summon it enough.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have it so I don't have to use TG Master Hyper Librarian
Over,
anymore.
yeah. Yeah.
Because it's still obviously a better option. Like
It's
in most
immensely
cases.
better option, especially considering what deck you're running. But
Do we need to tell them what deck I'm running?
no, unless you want to.
The internet's stupid.
Yeah, they're gonna say it's bad and that you shouldn't run it.
Oh, speaking of which, let's go and talk about that kid at local.
Do that. We'll talk about the kid later. We can rage about him later when we talk about the decks. But
Oh
okay.
no, I already did all my raging at him.
Okay.
So,
All right. Just say what you want to say now, so you get it out of your system.
okay. So I run Black Wings because that's the deck I was given when I started, and you know there's like a certain bond with the deck, and yeah, that's how Black Wings are how I learned to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's how I plan on playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a decent deck. They still do great without like people say like Gale is the heart of the deck, if you remember that,
Yeah.
and that made me puke because if people are familiar with Black Wings, you should know that they are capable of doing many things without Gale,
Yes.
and that they are like 80% of the duels, or actually 90, I want to say now, because I never draw into it anyways, or Whirlwind, or Dad, or Gores, at the right timing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me specify at the right timing,
Yeah.
because yeah, um, because my luck, the fact that I haven't been playing in real life for a long time now, and I haven't actually played that deck a lot, makes me feel like I haven't actually drawn into the good cards. But yeah, that was off topic. But basically, yeah, I use Black Wings. And last time I went to Locos at a nearby store, and this kid. Hmm. Okay. Here's what happens. I duel this like 8-year-old running
Everyone on
evil
Dueling
swarms.
Network, but yes.
Running evil swarms. So that's
Oh,
obviously
oh,
like an insult to begin with
yeah.
because the fact that he beat it me out of pure top decking, as in like all their top Kirkions,
Mm-hmm.
like every time I got rid of his
Stacking.
Opion, like every turn he was like, "Oh, I just happen to have a Kirkion."
He was stacking. If he wasn't using the trap, he was stacking.
He was like freaking 8 years old. I don't want to bring up a scene, so
You
like
should you should have kicked his ass. I would have kicked his ass. I don't care how old they are. I'm just
well,
kidding. Well,
I'm a human.
like I don't care. Like Yu-Gi-Oh's not. I'm not gonna get angry over a children's card
Yeah.
game. So especially if they're a little kid. Like you gotta like
Yeah, like
just
I'm not
give it to
even
him.
as in like it's just a tourney. Like who I don't care if I win or not. It's just a pure practice and
Exactly.
like idea of playing. So I mean, yeah, that's basically it. And I mean, I didn't really get pissed at that because there was some degree of luck, and obviously he's running a higher tier, so and evil
You
since
shouldn't
it's
be
evil
angry
swarms.
at that.
So I'm obviously not gonna be angry at it,
That doesn't
and
take any skill. So you shouldn't have been angry.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
But what did make me actually during the duel I was kind of bitter that the fact that my draws I sided in at least like 8 cards for Evil Storm just because I know there would be like 3 or 4 Evil Storm players there.
Mm-hmm.
I sided it in so much, and I didn't even draw into a single one at game two,
Mm-hmm.
and then I lost game two also. So I was kind of pissed at that because then it's still like you lost to an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like there's some anger in that. And then what did tick me off though is afterwards there's this like I want to say 12-year-old fat kid,
Oh,
diabetes,
obese. Yeah. Wilfred Brimley.
obese. Like imagine that like imagine in cartoons you see how like those like the stereotypical like fat white nerdy kids,
Yes.
like rich spoiled nerdy kids.
Yeah. Use
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like that.
Okay.
And what basically happened is after after I dueled the other kid,
Mm-hmm.
he tells me, why, sir, why are you running Black Wings? They suck. You're not gonna get anywhere with them. You're gonna lose all your 20s, and they're not even tiered.
And tell us what he was running.
And he was running Mecha Phantom Beasts.
Because it's not
They are
E-Dragons that makes
such,
Dragosack broken. It's its own deck.
yeah. And
Because Dragosack
wonderfully,
is totally like the rest of his deck.
I think God wanted to punish him. And next round, I was up against him, coincidentally, right after he made that comment. So,
You kind of did the Cyber Dragon thing to him.
no, not even. First turn.
First, yeah, I know. You
So,
didn't you
so
like just
first,
OTK him?
so first round, he does all his usual. Like you guys know what Mecha Phantom Beasts do. They summon tokens and rely on those. The thing is, Blackwings don't care about defense position. You just gave me a striking point.
Exactly. Like
The more tokens you summon, the more armed wings can hit you directly in the face.
exactly, and you can't
For
Gorus.
28. So I just smacked him in the face with armed wing the whole time
Yeah.
in the first round, and the usual Blackwing stuff.
Yeah.
You guys probably, I mean, Blackwings are old enough of a deck. I'm assuming most of the viewers will probably know what they do.
Yeah.
And round two, my sides are very interesting against this kid. He uses a machine deck that spams a lot of useless monsters with no back row. What could I possibly do against that?
System down.
Oh yes, that's very smart because I totally like care about him having an empty field.
Yeah.
So the first turn, I let him do his stuff, and second turn, I don't do anything. He was like, "Are you retarded? You just end the turn and let me spam tokens?" I'm like, "Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
More machines on your field, please.
Please."
If he was
So he
intelligent,
spams.
he'd just stop.
No, but like, listen. Just keep listening.
Yeah.
what eventually happened is he spams his field with like one Mecha Phantom Beast, whatever it is, because I don't care about Mecha Phantom Beasts besides
Yeah,
Dracosack. They aren't like a threat to me. So
exactly.
obviously, like I can read as I go on if I was to like meet them at a 20 or
Some of
something.
them make, some of them are like pretty good. Like they do pretty
They're
good stuff.
interesting, but I mean like
Like
they're not
I
like
know,
scary enough for me to have to remember every card of
yeah,
the deck.
the main
Like
ones are like Mega Tetherwolf, like Mega Raptor, and I believe it's like
it's just like
Hamstrata or whatever.
it's just like when he summons things, I'll just look at what they do
Yeah,
and then yeah.
exactly.
I won't have to know preemptively. Like for example, if you play against a Blackwing player, you'll have to know like watch out for
Watch
Collude
out,
and
there's a
then
Blizzard. He's gonna normal summon.
yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like you have to be aware of those, but then for Mecha Phantom Beasts, they aren't like
just don't care.
like you can probably go through it without knowing their deck anyways.
Yeah,
So
and they're relatively
then
new, so yeah.
afterwards, my second turn came after he dealt minimal damage to me because he only summoned one thing and spammed like four
Yeah, that's what
tokens.
they'll do too. That's a problem, but yeah.
So he's smacking me with like 1000s. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's very cute.
So what do you do to this kid with a full field of
Uh,
machine type monsters and no back row?
let's see. This is what I did. Cyber Dragon.
Yep.
Goodbye, kid.
Good game, kid. 5,000
And here's
attack.
the thing, I seriously think he had mental issues because he asked me, why did I run Cyber Dragon? Because that's not a good card.
Totally.
He asked me why I ran it. He doesn't even realize the fact that I sided it in because he's running a machine deck.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what the fuck, man?
What? Oh, monsters. What the is that? What is that?
Where are my tokens at?
What happened? 5,000. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, 6000 attack Chimera Fortress Dragon
Yeah.
isn't really fun for him.
And
But I
didn't
mean,
you like win that turn
yeah,
because you summoned something else?
yeah, I just like won that turn. It's like Shura, Gale, Kuro, 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 just like for mockery.
Attack
Or
the
like,
game with Kuro.
not Kuro, Kuro, Kuro. I mean,
Um,
let's get American here. What is it? Caligo Claw Crow?
Caligo Crow.
Is that? Am I
I don't know
remembering?
what language that is. It's like some sort of
It's
deviated
Caligo Claw
Hispanic.
Crow.
It's like Spanish.
Well, you're Mexican, right? You should know.
Sure, but yeah, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, that's what he did. That's a huge tangent of what Rx0Unicorn did to this annoying kid at locals with Cyber Dragon, which I love.
And I have to get back to the topic where you don't have to run meta. You don't have to run e-dragons.
Yeah, people
Th-
just are bent on
like
winning and they don't like having fun.
go
Like honestly, to me,
go back to the idea that this is a children's card game and that you're just having fun. Like really? Like do you have to win the tourney?
people,
And I mean like if you go to locals or something,
yeah,
there's there's not much difference like between winning or losing because if you lose like the winner gets 2 packs of the special like astral pack or like turbo pack,
yeah,
and then everyone else gets a 1 pack. So there's not that big of a difference. I really didn't care, and I mean I ended up getting like with 1 pack I ended up getting a Gemini Spark, which I actually happened to sell to a kid,
hmm,
and yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know why people care to win so much. It's just like that kid about that AP test at our school, right?
Totally.
Long story. We're not gonna get onto that
Don't
because
talk about
no
that here.
academics, no academics.
Yeah.
But let's just say people are obsessed on winning so much that they're annoying.
People are obsessed on winning so much that they'll take everyone out with them to win. And see, I win, but
It's called crashing.
yeah, I win, but do you feel bad when you lose to me? Like, do I like? Does
Sir,
does
I lose to you?
okay? Does anyone feel bad when they lose to me? I'm like, hey, yeah, it was a good game. Like I had, yeah, it was. You played well, even if they played badly. I'm like, good, you did this well, and yeah,
I mean, really? If you have looked at the kind of decks that I've made in real life, then like you'll know the kind of person I am.
you know the kind of person I am too by the decks I make.
No, you can go die in a hole.
I make I make decks that I just hate, like
He
looking at.
runs Dino Rabbits and Mermails and Fire Fists.
But yeah,
It's like the powerful decks that aren't enough to get hated on,
exact.
but yet still annoying
You know what?
enough.
I run good decks that that were once like the top of the top, but aren't good as anymore. That's what I do. I don't make them when they're like that good. I make them when they're good. Exactly how I made Infinities for the first time after the ban list, right?
Yeah,
That ban
that
list.
ended
I
that
wasn't
ended
totally
great.
using three Trishilas and three launchers. That wasn't me, guys. That wasn't
Yeah.
me.
I wasn't. You weren't the one who won the YCS way back when.
I will no, I didn't even top that YCS. I wasn't even. Yeah, but okay. X Sabers too. But yeah. So that's
Well,
that.
Pussycat.
Yeah, there's that. But anyway, back on topic about the next ban list. Next another ban card, Spellbook of Judgment.
Okay, I don't think we have to talk about this.
Just don't say anything. Okay, I'm just gonna read what I said. One of the most horribly designed cards I've ever had the misfortune of laying my eyes upon. This card brought a tier 2 at best deck up to the status of a near tier 0 if it wasn't for E-Drags, of course.
I
It
honestly think they weren't even tiered before
they were
Judgment.
they're good. Like they're a good deck. Like
Like,
just look at
yeah, they.
Fate and like Secret. Just look at that. That's good. But
Well, but I mean, like, Fate wasn't like brought up as like a huge topic until Judgment Day came.
yeah, that's true. Like Fate.
Like, they were underrated until Judgment Day
Yeah, true. Like people actually didn't like Fate when it first came out.
because they thought like, well, actually, without Judgment Day, Fate wouldn't be nearly as OP because
Yeah, you
you
couldn't get
won't
all that.
have you don't have three to banish.
Like okay, when Fate first came out, people were using it to like set Spellbook Magicians and like just occasionally bounce an opponent's spell or trap. But they were never using it just to continually banish anything your opponent
Just
had.
because they would have like High Priestess who would also banish stuff. So like
Destroy.
you don't have enough targets to banish.
Oh, you mean
So you
banish
can't
for
like
cost?
waste.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that was the problem before, but with Judgment Day, they don't care
Exactly. They don't care.
because
Really,
they
they
run
don't
through their
care.
entire deck. They just dump their entire deck.
Okay, yeah, it gives you massive advantage for nothing, and on top of it, like if okay, let's just say it added that would be somewhat. You can somewhat deal with that, but on top of that, it summons a card that leads to further plussing, like Justice, or a card that
Or
locks
you
down
can
your
do
opponent,
lockdown, like
Jaugen, Kaiko.
Kyoko,
Yeah,
Jaugen,
that's what
yeah,
I
you
said.
know.
Yeah, and on top of this, it's a quick play spell. So if you somehow fail at using it on your turn, and this is impossible unless you're a complete idiot, I said it. You can activate it on your opponent's turn. Use other quick plays, Wisdom, Fate, MST, make a small plus. Again for nothing. Ban this card, and you'll really have no trouble with spellbooks.
Although honestly, Konami's just gonna limit it, to
Like
see
I know,
how far down they go.
yeah.
But then, honestly, like they'll blow up on the first turn and then get massive hand advantage and still run on that on the second turn and
Seriously,
later on.
just one secrets, which you always get anyway. Just you have Spellbook of Judgment. It's just one
They
less.
have like 9 cards to search for.
And
Um,
Xiaogen's level 3. Do you know how like easy it is to make 3?
they because they have 9 cards to search for Judgment Day. They got like Spellbook Magician. You got like Spellbook of secrets and stuff like that, and then you got like Masters, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know.
Secrets Master, etc. Eternity if you want, but yeah. So yeah, just they're gonna hit this. Probably not ban it. Not yet.
But I
Anyway,
mean, that's obviously the problem from
it is
prophecies.
the problem. Like I know
Oh, look.
prophecies are good, but like without this card, they're not gonna be where they are anywhere near where they are
By the way, chapter or episode 1 of Ruby's out if anyone's interested or is a fan of it.
now. Oh, I see.
I'll give you the link later after the podcast, but yeah, just a small advertisement to Rooster Teeth. You don't have to pay us or anything for this.
Pay us. Be our sponsor. But okay. Yeah. And yeah, so that's that ban.
It's
Hit
okay. I have
Judgment.
small demands for Rooster Teeth. I only want like 10 Draco Sacks a day.
I want 10 original Crush Card viruses a day. But next card that I want banned, Card Destruction.
Just cause it
Always been a problem. Only leads to FDKs, Dragon, Super Rejuvenation, that
it
Mind August
always
thing,
it
Dark Worlds.
always ends with every weird deck. All of the weirdest decks use it.
Yeah,
Let's just say that.
yeah, it's only for like killing people immediately. Like that's all I see it ever being used for. So I don't need to talk about card destruction. It just lets you look at
I mean, it's been there for a while,
lets you
but
look at 11 cards in your deck first turn. Cycles through your deck so
I
fast.
mean, I could even see E-Dragons using it.
Yeah,
Just
I do
like
use
if
it. You do use it.
like like when maybe like the small ones get hit, then they'll use it to like stack all the big ones in the
I
grave.
still use it now. Like that plus Super Rejuvenation with an all dragon hand is just really good. And you screw up your opponent after they search stuff. So
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So there's that. Now on to what I think should be limited. I say Evil Swarm Cerceon,
Kirkion,
Kirkion, Cerceon,
stupid Mexican.
whatever. It's Greek. I'm also Greek, so I can say this however I want. I can say any of the Evil Storm's name however I want. And the
Cataster,
Constellars.
Golem.
Gollum. But yeah. Evil Storm, Karakion, Cerceon, etc. Uh, I don't like Evil Storms. I never like them. Never will like them. They're an autoplay deck. And
Said the guy who made them.
I just made them to see like, cause I could. Like I wasn't gonna. I
To
wasn't.
see what happened.
I
And you didn't even have Kirkion back
no,
then.
I didn't. I was doing stupid stuff.
That.
And the Evil Swarms, I play them without Karakion, and I have to say they're still good, but they're not as much of a problem. This wouldn't do anything to them. Just well, what?
They limit it because I mean, eventually for evil swarms, what they do, they have they have the usual Ophion, and if Ophion's effect doesn't actually work on your opponent, like they're using an Xyz deck like Fire Fist or something,
Yeah,
they could just grab the other infection and make it infinitely consistent because anything you draw becomes a Kirkion.
yeah, exactly. So this only you only get one Krukion. Use your one Krukion, and you're not going to use it again because you can't just like if you should be rewarded for killing like that stupid Field of Ophion and 5 backer. Like if you somehow get over that, they shouldn't be allowed to like remake it in a sense, like with one card. And Cerceon is that card that allows them to have a late game, which they shouldn't have, in my opinion.
I mean, having to deal with that first turn Ophion should be enough.
Exactly. So there's that.
And the Thunderbird should give them enough like spam to like stay on the field and keep making Ophions.
Exactly. I agree. So anyway, there's that, and I say bring back this to one Sinister Serpent. Does nothing.
But I mean, the logic behind why it's banned makes it so convincing that it should be banned. But the thing
That
is,
was a slow time. Times were much
if you
simpler.
think about, I know, if you think about it, you get +1 per end phase compared to anything else that's like anything nowadays. Look at Judgment Day. Look at how many plus at end phase compared to Sinister Serpent.
Sinister Serpent doesn't do anything. Like using a Mermails and Dark Worlds just to have a discard target. Like you discard it, that's it. It doesn't. It just comes
It's
back.
only a +1.
Yeah.
Well, and that's all.
And if it's at
And I
one,
mean, like
it's like
Mermaids don't even want to discard it that bad because I mean, you could have better effects with like
and I
Atlanteans
like
and
to have waters
stuff
though,
anyways.
like to have a steady stream of water, pun intended. But
No.
yeah, I say to bring it back to one, like they
You
did it
know
with
who makes
Tsukiyomi.
bad puns? Horse.
Yes, sure.
A specific one.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So semi-limit or limit this next card, Super Rejuvenation. We already talked about it. Allows okay, E-Dragons. They need to be punished for minusing their whole hand. Like they use their whole hand, make a Drago sack, then they shouldn't just be allowed to recover everything that consistently. It's a problem. Super Rejuvenation needs to be hit. It's one of the major problems of this deck. I
yeah.
don't care where it
Um,
goes to. Anywhere should be fine, even though semi-limiting is a bit lenient.
want to talk about the other things you want to bring back too?
I want Global back.
I mean, sure, a lot of people have had like very great nightmares with it.
Yeah.
But
People are like, you splash in every deck. Like, you don't splash this in every deck. Let's be honest. And its effect, I know it's not. It has essentially has no cost, and
it
in a lot of
but I
decks,
mean
the cost is a benefit.
but I mean it's the same as Plague Spreader. If
No,
I
no,
it
don't even say that.
it no, it's like the graveyard spam for like a little bit. It's a slight it's a slight spam. But I mean it's still slow. And I mean you like sometimes you have to send it to graveyard or something like that.
Yeah, it's
It
like
it's still
plants are not coming back with just
it's
this.
still a problem. I mean it's still not a problem for like other decks. It
No
doesn't.
one would care. I wouldn't care. It's a nice gimmick, but I wouldn't care.
Although would E-Dragons
Yes,
abuse it
and
by
they
any
need to be
chance?
hit. Yeah, that's the problem. Because they
No,
would.
if Glow Up Bulb was back then they
Yeah,
would
they
probably
would.
use
They
it.
would use it. I'd use it. I don't care. It's an Earth. I wouldn't care.
I mean, then you can use it with Redox, and then you can like synchro 8 twice a turn,
Yeah,
and
that's the only thing I
then
see with
that
them.
might actually
That and like
that might
zombies,
discourage it
because
actually.
zombies are kind of dumb a bit, because they do spam Xyz, and people have done
It-
stuff with
I
them.
mean, I've been seeing the Go 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 deck, and I've been trying to make it work, and it
Yeah,
kind of does. Like
that's
once you set
another
up.
issue. Like, I want to see this back, but I don't care if it doesn't, because it doesn't need to come back. It's not one of those things that
They don't
like,
have to,
oh,
but
bring
like
it back.
in a little Konami, I like they could make some easy money out of it, just like randomly. And I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't
with
know.
Ghost Tricks coming out, are they
Zombies.
zombies, right?
Zombies. Yeah. I don't think they're all zombies.
But I mean, like with Ghost Tricks coming up, they could get a help with this.
Possibly. I don't know Ghost Tricks enough. I don't think they do anything like that, but
But I mean,
the
it still
Onizord
helps them spam a card.
and
So,
and the next card that I said either Global comes back or Mizuki goes to 2. I really don't want to see both happen, but bring back Mizuki to 2. Should have happened a long time ago. For
I
now.
think Mizuki would be more realistic one, but I don't think Konami would really bring up like such an old issue though.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They don't care. Only if it's like
Like it's old. They won't bring that up.
yeah. And oh yeah, I also said to limit rekindling.
I mean, it's simple. Lavels, like
Rekindling.
as less as they do, it's still annoying, and it's like this massive spam for a certain archetype.
Exactly. I just
It's like
it's
imagine
not a
like
just archetype. It's just all fire things that can
I
do
mean
it.
like each
Oh, 3 Axis runs
each like
this.
yeah, and I mean like each archetype has their own like special archetype specific not archetype I mean like just a regular type specific card like machines have like their limiter removal stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like lights have their own little honest.
Hmm.
Darks might have like dad or something. So like they each deserve a little bit, but and they're all like limited. Fires don't deserve that much, especially not with 3 axis coming and
The
cogs.
chicken rooster. I mean rooster called rooster.
Rooster.
Let's hit it. It's always been a problem. No one likes it ever. Yeah. Unlimited. Thunder King Ryo. No one runs 3. Just I'm gonna say it at that. Uh, Tsukiyomi at 3. The experiment is over, and it's not a problem. It doesn't do anything.
I mean, you it's a spirit monster. You're not
Even though
gonna.
spirits are getting some interesting support, but
No, I'm talking about like it returns to your hand. Why would you run more than one? Like you barely want to run more than one because then like it keeps returning to your hand and then you'll eventually get like 3 in your
I
hand.
wouldn't even if I sided it. I only side 2 at most just to get it.
Yeah.
I would never do 3 because then that starts
And
to become an issue.
another interesting idea is Agent of Mystery Earth.
Yes, I said that. Yeah.
But when I tried agents, I I don't even see Earth as like anything abusable.
It,
It grabs a Venus.
it grabs Venus. What does Venus do now? Like, seriously.
It gets the gotchi that gets banished by fate.
And then it gets the Genix the Birdman combo where you make a bunch of stuff that gets immediately killed by whatever they have.
Yeah, like that totally does stuff, right?
Yep.
And like normal summoning an Earth with 1000 attack totally doesn't leave you wide open.
I know.
For like monster destruction like Flamvell Viredog and Gorilla and Shura.
And Bear and stuff.
or anything.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing you said was Keyzon.
Yeah, I did say keys on.
I honestly don't care, but I hate 6 Sams enough to think that would be good because that would stop a lot of OTKs and we won't have to deal with Gateway.
Because six Sams are
Because then
always a problem. Like,
because the fact that the idea of drawing into a Gateway gives you immediate win for idiots like Sehun too, that frustrates me.
yeah, me too. I don't like Gateway. Gateway's a horrible card design. Terrible.
I mean
And
the
keys on is what
as,
helps it
as soon as
perpetuate.
Keyzon at 2, you can't spam the 3. So then like Gateway won't do like loops anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's very simple. Just do that and they're done. And Gateway won't be a problem anymore because you can't spam that hard with it.
Exactly. I know I'm asking for a lot with that, but I'd like
They
to.
probably won't
They're
do
not
it,
gonna do
but
it. I know they're
yeah.
not, but it's just
I mean, a lot of people are asking for Gateway to be hit.
they're not gonna ban
It's
Gateway.
it's been there, but I mean, they're not gonna ban Gateway. So like, to if realistically, if they were to somehow like want to hinder 6 Sams, which obviously isn't the case judging by last ban list,
Yeah. They want to make.
then
They
they
want
they
them
would
to keep going
Keyzon.
strong. Like six Sams aren't bad.
They want to keep 6 Sams and Dark Worlds, I believe, like around the middle.
Yeah, it's those decks. Like that's what I
It's
associate
like
Sams now
just
with.
it's just like a simple starter deck. It's cheap to
And
make,
it's like a deck
and
that's
it
good but not good enough to
it
be.
somewhat survives, but it's not like high enough of a tier.
Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, it's Dark Worlds essentially. There's always
And
something worse than Dark Worlds.
and the second one you talked about bringing back was Gale the Whirlwind.
Yeah, because it doesn't do anything.
Now, before you bitches like start complaining about how, oh my god, Gale is total problem, Gale is annoying, Gale can kill a Stardust.
Stardust. Yeah.
I will tell you right now.
How
I,
many times have you
I
actually cared about Gale?
how many times has Gale actually helped me?
I'm like,
The
oh,
time I run into Evil Swarms, and that's the time I don't draw into it.
exactly.
Okay, honestly, I don't use the halving effect that much. It's just a little bonus that I do like before I synchro with it.
Yeah.
And what am I gonna synchro with? It just spams itself. So what? I'm gonna summon an Armor Master that dies next turn,
It gets taken.
or gets taken in any case, which makes Kalut absolutely useless.
Yep. I don't, yeah, people don't. Yeah, just give him Gale. It could have
I
happened.
would run it, but I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't see any way I can actually make it abusable.
Yeah, other than just the two Gales like that.
The one Armor Master.
People don't realize that the synchros the synchros are like
The Armed Wing I mean, the Blackwing synchros aren't that good,
yeah, they
honestly.
aren't.
I
To
just
be
use them as
honest.
speed sticks.
Yeah. Like you would
That's why it doesn't matter if you value it or just
like
a
if yeah, the
regular sum.
effect doesn't matter. Like you just value it just to have it.
Like, how often do I actually use Armed Wing plus 500?
You know
It's
what? Okay,
hilarious when I
can I
do,
just tell you
but I
something?
don't.
I've never seen you use wedge counters.
Because I have never used Wedge Counter because the time by the time I get the Wedge Counter on there, next turn, Armor Master is dead.
Either Armmaster is dead or that monster is used for something, and like
There's not gonna be something in this meta that's actually a problem enough for you to use Wedge Counter.
oh shit, I got a turn.
If you have
Wedge counter.
if you guys have considered like how long I've been playing Blackwings, which my master should be really clear with, I've been playing it for a long time. I will be honest with you, I have never used Wedge Counters before.
Yeah, I don't. I've
Like
never seen you use them.
I seriously still have not had used them. And what? I've been playing for like almost a year now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
started like all around the like the last year's ban list, right?
yeah,
I think. Yeah, it's somewhere around there, but
yeah. Wedge counters don't happen.
I don't use wedge counters. I'm sorry, because I mean, I Armor Master's yeah, I'm just not gonna talk. You go.
Okay, yeah, Gale can come to two. It's not a huge problem. It's not a problem at all. Armor
And I mean,
Master doesn't matter.
sure, like sure, friggin' what's his Crow makes it look badass as hell, like their effects. It's like, hey, I summoned Silver when the Ascendant and use its effect to blow up like your Earthbound Immortal whale and like other stuff.
Effect failure. You can't
Yes,
attack.
because I have totally summoned a Silver when the Ascendant.
Yeah.
You know when was the last time I summoned it? Legitimately?
No. I don't think I've seen it.
When I used to run Marshmallow in the deck just for trolling. Because then I
You
could
just had
set
that
a
extra
Marshmallow,
non-tuner.
then Blizzard and Kalute.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it needs two non-tuners, that just makes everything harder.
Two
And it's
non-tuners
level
is
8,
bad. Like,
and then it's a level 8 to begin with.
yes.
So, I mean, how often do Blackwings make an 8?
They don't make eights. When do make they make
Aside from like
eights?
aside from like an altered version of like Excel Synchro, where sometimes I do like Armdwing and then I use another Blizzard to like summon like a Vayu as a blocker and then I'll synchro the stuff to like do whatever.
Uh,
Like if it's necessary, I need like a Dark End or like a Crimson Blader,
Void
something
Orb.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't use it.
Just okay. Bring Gale back to two. It's not gonna make an impact. I guarantee that.
And I mean, also judging by the way Konami is taking things, they are trying to help Blackwings a bit because they were so cruel to them at first.
They were
I
horrible.
can
They just smashed them in the ground.
they 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 shat on them so hard. Honest was still at 2, but Kalut was at 1.
Yeah.
Like that's my explanation. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
And yeah. That's all that's my rant about the whole thing. And you can do whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that statement. So yeah, that was our next ban list predictions. Uh, those
What the hell?
what?
Go on DN right now and look up Fortress Whale.
Okay. I'm doing this in the middle of the podcast, DM.
This could be an interesting topic for or it might be something interesting for the viewers to look at too. Like if you're viewing this, you could probably look at it. Look at what's so special about it.
Level 7 fish ritual.
It's
2350.
free.
Wait, what?
It's free.
Oh. Yeah. Uh, Fortress Oil is free apparently.
It's
Either that or it doesn't
low
exist or
price
it's
is
free.
$0, average price is $0, high price is $0.
So there's like someone somewhere like I have a Fortress Rail, throws it out the window.
You can have it. I will sell it to you for free.
Like you can't even. I know that's not okay. You know what? I'm going on TCG Player. No way. No,
Oh, it's because it's tournament pack
and
only,
it's out
so
of stock.
yeah, it's out of stock, so no one
That's
has it.
really funny that you just noticed that.
No, I was just looking at random cards and I saw that. I'm like, oh, interesting. I've never seen that in any other cards before on DN.
Yeah.
Like a complete
I want to
zero
make
for
a
everything.
Fortress Well deck now. But anyway,
Yeah,
just for,
it's a free
just for
deck.
no reason.
You
E-Dragons
could
and
probably
Fortress
do it.
Rail.
I mean, no, you could probably do it with like mermails too.
I want another.
It's a level 7
If
ritual.
it had
It's a
if it
water.
had an effect, I would be all for it. I just don't like it. I'm making a new ritual deck, but you'll see later. But anyway, so yeah, that was our ban list
I
talk. And you remembered your name, right? It's Rx0Unicorn.
did I?
Is it?
That's my name?
Yeah.
Oh, thought it was
No, your
Amelia.
name is Excalibur. Fool. Fool. But anyway, so yeah, this has been the Rx0Mat cast, also known as the Amelia Aerial cast. You can tell who likes which by beginning of this podcast.
No, I don't understand.
Okay.
Because my obsession for this goes out to EG, by the way, because my recent obsession over anime girls, Amelia has really been dropping. She's still my favorite, but the fact that I've been watching so many like female anime characters lately, like she doesn't make my top 5 list.
You should take it back.
I've told you about my top 5 list, right?
Yeah, you did.
So for the fans, this is number 1 is Konata Izumi because
Yep.
it's Konata.
It's Konata. Konata,
If you know her,
Konami,
if,
Konami.
if you know Konata, like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, next. Number 2.
Number 2 is Kurumi Tokisaki.
From Data Life, which we will be doing a lot more with in the future. I won't say what.
It's a secret project, but we will be announcing it later on.
Yep.
Should we just say it so and like people don't make that like idea like by
No,
the
because
time?
if we say it, they'll take the idea and just.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's true. That's true.
we
Yeah,
can't
so,
copyright this.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, number 2, Kurumi Tokisaki because she's
Cool.
well. If you watch Data Live, you would understand. It's Kurumi.
She's Kurumi. There's like
She
no
is
other-
Kurumi.
Yeah. Tokusaki.
And
yeah.
let's see. Number 3 is Louise Valliere.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna make the same statement.
That anime.
If you watch Zero no Tsukama, if you watch Zero no Tsukama, you would understand.
She's
It's
her.
Louise.
She's herself.
It's Louise.
It's Louise. Everyone knows it's Louise. That's her.
Num-
Yeah.
Number 4 is Inori from Guilty Crown. Now, I have a different reason for this. Are you gonna start singing BIOS now?
Maybe, but yeah, go.
Fan service.
I'll sing
But,
BIOS for all of you.
But I don't know. She's different from like all the other female characters I like because she's different. Like she's not your erection type of girl. Like she's like the like you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Come on, you like Toka.
I know.
Shut up.
Okay, touche. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a different kind of like if you've watched it.
I get
And same argument. If you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just
Guilty Crown. Although I
this
was
podcast is
expecting
about knowing.
although I was expecting so much more from that show, and the ending was kind of
They
disappointing.
fucked it up. Like, excuse my
They
French.
they really screwed it up. That show had so much potential. It could have been like easily one of my favorite shows if they did it right.
I agree with you.
Number 5, Kagami Hiragi.
Cause Konata, I said it again.
Because Konata is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say at this point, but yeah,
I can say my top 5 anime females.
go for it.
Number 1.
I'm assuming Toka is gonna be there now.
Okay. This is
Because
not in any
you just
particular
got-
order. I haven't thought about it that much, but this is not in any particular order. And you're gonna see the difference between me and Rx0's like anime taste. I'm like more of the he called me a Mexican earlier. I'm probably what Mexicans watch, but
He watches the overrated like Shonen Jump never-ending
yeah,
series.
I do. But I
Like
hate
you watch
them.
Bleach
I
and
hate them.
Naruto, and
I hate
you
them.
hate them, but you still watch
Yeah,
them.
I
I
hate
don't
them
get it.
so much. Like I love Data Live now because I'm starting to get into better animes. Like
It-
you know,
it's
I've
so-
seen Lucky Star, which is really good. But
Wait, you have?
yeah,
You finished it?
I've always said yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I've always said I've seen Lucky Star, but yeah. So anyway, no particular order. We have see, I don't even like her, but okay. It's Aruka from Soul Eater, which is the frog girl. It's Winry Rockbell from Fullmetal Alchemist. What up?
And make sure you do a little like explanation for each.
Winry, she's cool. She's a good character. As for Aruka, I just like her like outfit and like her gimmick with the
And,
tadpole
like-
bombs.
You mean sperm?
Sure. Yeah, tadpoles. Sure.
I've always had to say that. Like, it looks like sperm.
Okay, I like
It
Jiraiya.
looks like a bunch of floating
I
sperms.
like Jiraiya, so I like frog stuff. I think that's cool. So yeah, it's her. I would say Blair, because I like Blair.
Cause Blair.
I like Blair,
Cause it's
because it's
Blair.
Blair.
I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
anything about that, but yeah.
yeah. I also like Blair. But from Bleach, I'll have to say I like Lily Net, because you know how I feel about Coyote Stark.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lily Net, even though she's like a lolly, just like Lily Net. She's funny.
Well, I mean, it's okay to like lollies in animes as long as you don't actually marry a lolly.
Exactly. But so Lily Net's cool. Uh,
I mean, as much as this offends Louise, I can say that Louise is a lolly.
yeah.
Like
And
she'll be offended. Like if she was real, she would be punching me by now.
yep. And
Or like explosion.
exactly, exactly. But also, I have to talk about Naruto now. Every girl in
Hinata.
Naruto is a freaking bitch except Hinata.
That
Exactly.
I will agree with. Like even if I don't watch it, like I know the basis of it because
Like,
I'm just otaku, so like I'll know
yeah,
approximately.
I like her.
Like I don't follow it like word by word, but like I know what happens ish.
Yeah, I just like her. I don't even like Tsunade. I don't like Tsunade. I don't like uh Conan's alright, I guess, to be the next in line, but I just like Hinata. Like everyone else is a horrible person. Just they should go die.
Really? I think Sakura is a
Oh
wonderful
my
person.
god. Don't even. Don't even. She was my first anime crush though. Until I realized she
Well,
was a horrible, horrible witch.
horrible person.
Horrible,
Horrible.
horrible. But anyway,
And
so
since your recent liking of Data Live, I assume Toka will
Toka,
be there.
Toka, love Toka. Yeah, cause Toka is
Ki-
Toka, like Kurumi is Kurumi.
Because I mean Toka, I mean, there's honestly so many scenes that you still have not
I know,
seen,
and I think,
which is the reasons why people actually like her.
and I just noticed that she's one of the more complex characters.
She is definitely complex. I will give you that.
Yeah, like cause
She is not
I know a
normal.
lot of the characters are one-sided, but
I,
she's one of the
I
ones
mean,
that are like not.
and I mean, like, I know people will complain that Data Live characters are always like on the top of like people's favorite females, but like if you've given the anime a try, you'll know
Like,
that the whole anime is based on like developing interesting
yeah,
females.
like give the anime a chance. Like the whole, yeah, it's essentially the premise of the whole anime is personality.
Yeah, like you eventually anyone who watches the anime will end up liking at least one of the females.
Yeah, you will.
Not liking, loving.
I didn't expect I myself to take
Like you
to
weren't
her.
expecting much from Toka until like you actually got into it.
Yeah, I said I'd like her the most when you described her to me, and I actually do. So yeah, and it's funny because the people we're doing with project with it's 4 people, and each one of us likes a different one of the main female characters.
Although Robert still says he likes Toka, and I really think he just likes Yoshino because you know
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get into
don't
details, but you can imagine what kind of
036,
person we're talking about.
but he'll be on the podcast one day, probably next time.
You mean last time?
He was okay. Well, we might release that one day, but
We might release the episode 0.
yeah, episode zero. But anyway, so how many girls did I met? Lilinet, Aruka, Toka, Winry, and yeah, Hinata.
Nada.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Like
Okay, and if it,
actually, now that I'm getting back into it, getting back into Data Live, and I'm like getting into like some of the second season material, it is very possible that Toka might end up on my 5.
yes, yes, that's good.
It
And I do
it
like Kurumi. Like I like Kurumi and her.
and you still haven't even gotten to that
I
part of
know.
the
I know.
story.
I do like Kurumi though.
You're only on like episode like 4 or
Yeah, the
5.
things I've seen from her, I'm expecting more. But yeah,
But I mean, I've shown you some of the essence.
essence of Kurumi.
Well, the
It's
thing
like a
is,
perfume.
I
It
mean,
smells like death.
you see my Facebook profile, so
Yeah, it's like
you will get the idea of like
okay. Since
you
we're
see everything I have.
since we're on this topic, I don't want to drop off like that. Top 5 anime males.
Hideyoshi.
Michael. But yeah,
Hideyoshi is like number 6
okay.
for females.
But tell me your top 5 anime males.
top of my head,
Yeah, in no particular order. Doesn't matter.
you go first. I gotta think about this one. I don't talk about this nearly as much as I do for females.
Okay.
Like I don't have an established list. I might have to go back to like the kind of animes I watched, but should be quick. You
Okay.
go.
I'll go over my top 5 male anime characters. Okay, this is no particular order. Coyote Stark is probably number one of the top number
No,
ones.
before we continue, I'll just say that Matmasta is a very big fan of badass men and big oppa females.
Yep, this is a very
As
true
you can see
statement.
from like Blair and like basically everyone with the exception of Hinata.
Have you seen Hinata lately?
Well, yeah, she's been growing.
Been-
What's her face has been giving her advice.
yeah,
Tsunade has been giving her advice.
probably. Advice as in advice. But yeah, so Coyote Stark, awesome dude, just really cool. I relate to him because he's probably the strongest, like Spada, but he's just lazy as all hell and doesn't care. That's essentially me in a nutshell. Uh, and he's a badass. But
And
anyway, what were you gonna say?
uh, do you need some help with your list? Because I think I thought of a couple of ones that will be on your list
Tell me,
too.
tell me.
Alucard,
Yep, he's one of them.
because
Around the bottom, but
manly man, I just said badass men.
yeah, that didn't get that didn't get on the podcast. If you want to say it again, go ahead.
Matmasta has a very strange erection for those men.
Sure. We're not talking about that swimming anime though,
That is true
or
though.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, but,
Or Zexel.
but anyway. So
Or
yeah,
like the male version of Date Alive.
exactly. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, okay, so yeah, Alucard near the bottom. And from Helsing is Alexander Anderson. Just because he's a crazy Catholic bastard. Just like
I think
screaming.
you are actually a fan of him more than Alucard.
I am. I am a fan of him more than Alucard.
Because I know.
I do like Alexander Anderson. Yeah, he's a big part of the forum profile and oh shit, I have to hold on. I do like Alexander Anderson. Yeah, he's a big part of the forum profile and oh shit, I have to hold on.
It's on the podcast or not, but I was talking about this idea of extreme Xyz, where you kind of Xyz with Xyz
Yeah, you
monsters.
said
So
that.
like, if you have, was that in the podcast or was that?
Yeah, it was, but you mean you use two Xyz to Xyz another Xyz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I mean, it might not be called an Xyz, but like kind of like that idea.
The next step, I think the evolution will be, is that having Xyz that you can only summon by using synchros as the material.
Synchro C's, Sync C's.
But no, it's still Xyz, but they just have that restriction.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Chaos Xyz could go on a good path right now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, signing off for the Rx0 Matcast.
Hey, look, before we end, Catastor is only $12 right now.
That's why I got a bunch. But anyway, so signing off for the Rx0 Matcast is Matmasta and the guy who forgot his name in the beginning.
What is my name?
Rx0Unicorn?
Is it?
Probably. Anyway, adios.